It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special offers on Ford F-Series.
With your trade-in, you can lease the 2023 Ford F-150 Super Crew STX for a low $419 a month. Hurry in today.
Are you an adult 40 years or younger and a survivor of child sexual abuse? Or do you know of a minor presently being abused? I'm Brian Claypool with the Claypool Law Firm. My team has recently recovered over $125 million in damages for victims of sexual abuse, including a $35 million landmark settlement for the family of Anthony Avalos. Be brave. Share your story with us. Together, let's prevent sexual abuse.
Good morning. I'm Frank Buckley. Special Counsel Robert Hur getting grilled by both Republicans and Democrats at a hearing on Capitol Hill this morning. He's taking heat for the outcome of his investigation into President Biden's mishandling of classified documents. A live report from Washington just ahead.
I'm Eric Spillman. 20 years after he was convicted of murdering his wife and unborn son, Scott Peterson appears before a judge today. Will he get a new trial? That story coming up.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. Some drivers say their behavior behind the wheel is jacking up their insurance rates. They're not wrong. David Lazarus joins us to explain why.
Good morning, I'm Sam Rubin. New here at 10 o'clock. Madonna's last night in L.A. Producer Pablo was there. His complete review. Plus, Joe Walsh's daughter, Lucy, has written a book. She will be here live to talk with us all about it.
On. Yeah, okay, there we go. It's been a bad day today for the microphone. We're talking about the weather, and it's going to be mostly clear skies. A little on the cool side. We still have some clouds bumping up against the mountains, but otherwise things are going to be clearing out. Temperatures a touch cool. Then the winds are going to pick up. 64 coastal. Downtown Los Angeles, 67. San Fernando Valley at about 70. 62 in the high desert. Inland Empire, 65. Orange County inland up to 68 degrees. Jessica, back to you.
Mark, thank you. Today, lawmakers grilling a former federal prosecutor who described President Joe Biden as having a poor memory in a report about the president's alleged mishandling of classified documents. KTLA's Trevor Shirley live in Washington, D.C. this morning with more. Trevor, good morning.
Jess, good morning to you as well. That hearing got underway earlier today. The former special prosecutor is taking heat from both sides of the aisle in all of this, but he says he stands by the conclusions that he published in that report. Take a live look right now. You can see inside that hearing room. It's been going on for at least an hour right now. Hur is appearing on Capitol Hill after the release of his report into the president's alleged mishandling of classified materials when he was vice president. Those documents were found at several properties connected to President Biden. Hur, who was appointed to the Justice Department by former President Donald Trump, did not find sufficient evidence to charge Mr. Biden with any crimes. His report described Mr. Biden as a, quote, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, even alleging the president couldn't remember the date his son Beau died. The president angrily and forcefully pushed back on that description following the report's release. But Hur says he needed to justify his decision not to prosecute Mr. Biden, and that his observations gave context to that decision. Right now, Republicans are angry that Hur didn't charge the president, and Democrats are upset that his description fuels the idea that Mr. Biden isn't mentally fit to run again. Already today, Hur's told lawmakers he stands by his report.
My task was to determine whether the president retained or disclosed national defense information willfully. That means knowingly and with the intent to do something the law forbids. I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind. For that reason, I had to consider the president's memory and overall mental state and how a jury likely would perceive his memory and mental state in a criminal trial.
Now, there's always a chance that Senate investigators would want to hear from her as well, although at this point it's not clear whether or not that's going to happen or if he'll have to go back to Capitol Hill and testify again. That's the latest here in Washington. We'll send it back to you guys in L.A.
Trevor, thank you. New at 10, attorney Gloria Allred will announce a lawsuit this morning against the French-Polish filmmaker Roman Polanski. She claims he sexually abused her client when she was a child. No further details about the case released. A news conference set for 11:30 this morning. The 90-year-old Polanski is accused of sexual assault of several minors going back decades, including a 13-year-old girl here in Los Angeles in 1977. He fled to France in 1978, hours before he was set to be sentenced as part of a plea bargain on lesser charges. He has remained a fugitive and has spent most of his life living in France. Since then, other women have claimed they were abused by Polanski as children. He denies the allegations. France, Switzerland, and Poland have refused to extradite Polanski back to the United States.
New this morning, online influencers